If someone comes up to you and says, why are you so happy all the time? Or how are you so hopeful all the time? What do you say? How do you respond to that? Even if someone says, so how are you doing today? What do you say? Happy afternoon. I'm Tabitha Filan, the hostess of Carline Conversations, and I am so glad you joined me today as I sit in Carline and wait to pick up kids and just kind of chat through some of the things that have been on my mind. I wish I could say that I've always been one of the people who, okay, wait, the kind of person who you're like, hey, how are you? And they always respond with like, I am so blessed, or, it's such a great day. And I am not that person. I am the person that's like, I am barely making it. It's been so hard. That's, if I'm being honest, that's who I am. And I hate it. I absolutely hate being that person. I want to be the joyful person who is just having a great time regardless. Or, I walk into church on a Sunday morning and it doesn't matter that my kids have been driving me crazy, and it doesn't matter that I didn't sleep all night. When someone says, hey, how are you doing? I can say, man, I'm just so glad to be here. I want that to be who I am. The Bible actually says in 1 Peter 3:15, 3:5, 3:15. I'll put it below because I don't remember. But it says we're always supposed to be ready to answer people whenever they say, why are you so hopeful? Well, that tells me two things. First of all, we're supposed to always be hopeful. We're supposed to be joyful and happy. And we're supposed to have this kind of attitude that draws people to us so that they want to ask us what's different. We can't be like everyone else. We can't be grumbling and complaining. We've got to stay focused on what is good, what is right, what is pure, what is lovely. I'm going to link Philippians 4 below for you too, so you can know what your mindset is supposed to be. And that's where I'm really striving to improve. It's just taking me a little longer than I had hoped. But that's what we're supposed to be doing. We can't sit and wallow in our circumstances. We can't sit and, stew and grumble and complain. We've got to be the kind of person that other people want to be around. That's not always going to be possible, but that's supposed to be what we strive for. Okay. The second thing that scripture tells me is that we've got to be ready. If someone does say, why are you smiling? Or why are you so happy today? Our response is supposed to be our testimony of what God has done, is doing, and will do for us. It's supposed to be a reflection of Him. We're supposed to be pointing people back to Him in those moments. We can't do like I do and reply with, it's just been a really rough day. That's not our response. Our response is supposed to be about Jesus. Now, is that to say you can't have bad days? Absolutely not. I mean, bad days happen. The thing is, you can't let your bad day become your attitude. Does that make sense? You can't be so stuck in having a bad day today that you're focused tomorrow on what happened today. And then that creates a bad day tomorrow. And then the next day. And it's like a chain reaction where you just get sunk in this mud bog and you can't seem to pull your feet out. They're just sucked into that. Except it's a mental thing. I have actually done a lot of work on my mind and trying to focus on what is good and positive and pure and lovely, because I do, with depression. I have always struggled with depression for as long as I can remember. Now, I've written a book about my journey called Even-Tempered Mother, and I'll link it below. I think it's available free for Kindle, actually, through Amazon. But it talks about how I really felt guilty because I started using medication to help me even out my moods. So I've been working on this for a long time. But more so lately, I've really been trying to focus on what am I thinking about. I actually read Joyce Meyer's The Battlefield of the Mind. And while I don't agree with everything that she says, I really learned a tremendous amount from that book. If you don't think you could force yourself to read an entire book, there's a devotional too that uses snippets from that book that might be more helpful if you only have like 20 minutes a day that you can spend working on that. But one of the things that I took away from studying the Battlefield of the Mind is that my mind doesn't run me. It's not the boss of me. My mind isn't what tells me what to think about. I tell my mind what to think about. And whenever I can direct my thoughts in a positive direction, whenever I can take every thought captive and make it submit to Jesus, that's also scriptural. I'll link it below. When I can actually do that, it's going to change my attitude. It's going to change where I focus in my day. I won't focus so much on the bad things that are happening, and maybe I'll find more good things. That's what I'm supposed to be looking for. The good, the lovely, the pure, that's what we're supposed to be focusing on, changing our mindset. And it's hard. It can be really hard, especially if you have a habit of focusing on the negative. It's going to take a lot. It's going to take you realizing, oh, wait, I'm letting myself go down that negative road, and pulling yourself back to, okay, what can I think about now? And you can start with all the wonderful ways God has blessed you. Even if you're not feeling very blessed in that moment, you can remember back to when God moved, when God provided. Maybe you just look at someone in your family who you're very thankful for. Maybe you look at your home and the food in your refrigerator. Maybe it's just remembering that last time you were in need, He provided food for your refrigerator. Just giving thanks to Him. Starting there will actually do a lot to create a more positive mindset for you. So you become that person that people come to and say, hey, what's so different about you? How are you so happy? Everybody else is down in the dumps, but you, not you. So we've got to become the people who reflect God's love, who reflect that light and that hope that makes people wonder, why are you different? And then we've got to be prepared to tell people, oh, well, it's Jesus. One of the things that I often say is, the only thing good in me is God. Because when people are like, oh, you're so nice. No, I'm not. I am not a nice person. I know me very well. The only good in me is God. And that can, just a simple little phrase that you can teach yourself to say in those moments will help you begin a practice of replying in a positive way, and putting a focus on God and directing others towards Him. I wish I could say, you could snap your fingers, wiggle your nose, tap your heels together, and be a different person in your mind. I guess maybe it's possible. I think God, if He wants to bring healing to someone in that way, He certainly can. So please begin by praying, God, change my mind, change my heart, You know, even David prayed, change my heart, oh God, make it ever true. Everyone's going to struggle. It's just a matter of moving on from that and then directing others to the source of your hope. It's been a great afternoon sitting here chatting with you on the Carline. I appreciate you hanging out with me. If you have any tips or tricks for keeping your mindset on more positive things, drop those below. Not every day is going to be sunny. Not every day is going to be good. Bad things do happen. But we don't have to stay there. And if you've got any tips for climbing out of that muddy pit, I would love to hear them, because I guarantee you at some point in the future, I'm going to need it too. I love you. I appreciate your time today, and I will see you again next time in the Carline.